When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Welcome to another Find the Edge production for the Premier League Cricket Club. Connecting players and coaches, clubs and leagues, volunteers and supporters alike, you're in the right place for the best of the 33 ECB Premier Leagues and the 20 NCCA counties, bringing you the stories, the stats and the standout performances that make this game great. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to both our Premier League and NCCA shows so you don't miss any episodes. Now, shall we get stuck in? Right, so welcome everybody to the Overthrow, our winter series of conversations with people in, around and all over the bloody place in cricket, to be frank, it's turning out to be. We got into right old conversations and we've got a good one today, Hugh. Are you ready for a content creator?
Of course. Well, I mean, as long as he's better than us, because we need education.
Oh, well, it depends what sort of content you're talking about, really, you see. That's the difference, yeah. This guy shows his... He shows his face, whereas we couldn't be asked doing that. But more importantly, and this is where he's on the show, he is a Premier League cricketer, because we do have a rule on this show, which is if you're not Prem, I hate to say it, you're lower order, aren't you, Hugh?
Well, I certainly am, yeah.
Joining us today from the Greater Manchester Cricket League, from Flixton Cricket Club, and there was a good reason for doing this. We've got Ollie Riley, who's the Wicketkee. How are you doing, bud?
Yeah, cheers for having me, guys. Yeah, I mean, a content creator is a bit of a stretch. I mean, I've only been doing it not very long. But yeah, no, it's great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, let's cut to the chase. Why are you a content creator now?
Well, it's happened quite quickly, actually. So a few weeks ago, I put a video on, didn't I, of a bit of a sketch of a Premier League signing. And supposedly me trying to sign the player. And it comes from a true story, actually. A bowler approached me and he wanted, I think it was about $8,000 for the season. And we had a conversation, a bit to and fro. And then he asked for £10 a wicket as well. And I was a bit like, what's the $8,000? What are you getting $8,000 a year for then if you're an opening bowler? You know what I mean? And then you get your £10 a wicket, and then he wanted fuel, and I just thought, right, I'm going to make a sketch on this and just throw it out there, just see what the general public think. And it's had I think it's 300,000 views now on all sort of platforms. And then I've sort of gone off from that and done a few more sketches of signing overseas and bringing the pet giraffe over and, just taking the mick, really. And I've it's gone up to about 500,000 views in 3 or 4 weeks. And I can't believe the sort of response I've had from it. I mean, I had a notification this morning. Carlos Brathwaite had liked one of my posts from last night on...
Was it the bowler?
Yeah, the one that launched Ben Stokes about... But yeah,
hang on. Is Liam Hurt in trouble here and Brathwaite's coming over?
Yeah, Liam's in big trouble. Yeah, he's gone. Brathwaite's in now. We've done a deal. He only wanted £20 a wicket under £12 a run, so he's all right.
That'd be about right. But it's gone. I mean, it's gone mad for you. There's no two ways about it. And I like the fact that it came from real life, inverted commas, and we know that these stories go on around the country. And Hugh and I are one of those We're very similar in that we know there's money in cricket. We're not going to ever hide behind this. Oh, we don't pay this, we don't do that, because we know it happens. But it's the realistic, what's happened to you guys that starts it, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I mean, look, like we've spent a lot in the past, and it's no secret to anyone. But a lot of clubs do hide the fact that they are spending a lot of money, and I don't know why they do that, and I don't know whether they think that's because they're right or wrong. But I think we know across all Premier Leagues in the country, there's been a lot of money spent that every single club, because that's the only way you're going to compete these days. Really, is if you're going to need a big budget to get the players in. But unfortunately, in our case, we didn't have a junior section for many years, so we had no choice. But if we wanted to keep our Premier League status, we had to keep forking that money out and making big signings, unfortunately.
Yeah. And obviously, we've spoken off air, but that's gone awry now, hasn't it? So you came 8th, I think it was, in the GMCL last year, but you won't be in the Prem next year.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been a Premier League club for many years now. We did get relegated a few seasons ago, and we managed to get promotion again. We didn't have a junior section up until 3 years ago, until I set one up. And over the last 3 years, I've sort of been to-ing and throwing. Is it worth it spending the money that we are when we don't have the juniors to back it up at the moment? I mean, we've got 5 teams from next year, and it's no disrespect to our junior section, but I don't know whether our juniors would be good enough to work their way towards Premier League cricket at this moment in time. So we've made the decision. I've been head of cricket there since 2021, and I made the decision that I'm going to drop us down 2 leagues, reduce the funding that we are spending on the players, and pump that into the junior section. And that's the way I want to do it, really. And try and that's not saying I want to stay in the Championship for the next 2-3 years. I'm keen to get promoted, back-to-back promotions if we can, but in a more sustainable way.
I mean, on a serious note, I mean, I think it's the big question that everybody has around the country. How do you produce juniors that can play in the Premier League? And it's incredibly difficult because the standard's really, really high. And you can't just get some lad, 15-year-old lad, all right, you've come through, into the Premier you go, because there's people bowling 90 miles an hour potentially, and there's people hitting the ball 100 metres. And you've got to be a special kind of mad to face that, I think. I don't.
No, absolutely. And that's the conversation we had. So when we were talking about whether dropping the senior first team down a couple of leagues, some people were saying, well, you're not going to get the best juniors then because your first team isn't in the Premier League. But then you've also got the dilemma of, well, we haven't got the coaching infrastructure if we're in the Premier League because we're paying out all this money on the players. We haven't got the coaches available to us to create us them junior players to go into the Premier League. Like you say, the Premier League is full of really, really good players now. There's a lot of Lancashire second team players playing in the Premier League. We had Harry Singh this year. And if that's the quality you need to be to survive at that standard, it's very hard. I mean, I come from our junior setup and I struggle massively in the Premier League. It's a brilliant standard, and there's no embarrassment in me saying that because they're brilliant players.
Yeah, I spoke to someone last night, funnily enough, who will remain nameless. Plays in the Cheshire League and the Cheshire Prem. And this is a guy who, by his own admission, he's been a one-man club for many, many years. And he's literally gone through the ranks, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. And when he first got that nod into the Prem team a couple of years ago, by his own admission, he came away and went, gee, that's tough. That's a different level. He'd had a year in Australia, came back from Australia, and it was still not good enough. And then he basically made a promise to himself, I'm going to be ready next year. No matter what happens, I'm going to... And he spent the whole winter, since I think it was 22, netting, getting ready, fitness, the full works. And he's been a Premier League, inverted commas, stalwart since then. But by his own admission last night, he's not missed a single week's training or netting since then, including every winter, because he knows that if he doesn't, and he just drops off a tiny bit, he's a number 6, 7 batter, he's out. There's someone else coming through. And there's a couple of youngsters at his club in particular who actually could almost step forward in the next sort of 6 months. Do you find that's the same at your level, Ollie, where the GMCL, you had Gareth Cross, Harry Singh, Liam Hurt, just to name 3, playing for you guys last year. That's a serious level to be able to compete at, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I'm playing with them. Listen, it's been absolutely brilliant. Like, you learn so much off them, and they are great lads. But like you say, our second team players, to make that step up into the Premier League, it is absolutely worlds apart. And that's not to say the second team lads aren't great players, because I grew up with them, played in the same junior teams. And as a junior setup, we won pretty much everything together. But to make that step up now from second team, saying if you're a 28, 29-year-old and you haven't got that coaching in place, like say that lad who made that step up, he was netting weekly all winter. That's some commitment. And our second team they're not that committed, and that's okay. They don't want to be Premier League players, and that's fair enough. But yeah, for me, it's the gap between second team and first team. It's just huge, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think we weren't in a position where we wanted to push up our second team lads into the Premier League and find out that we're going to get battered every week, because I don't think that's good for anyone.
Absolutely. There's something that I've picked up from Flixton looking at the stats last year, Hugh, and you tell me 34 different players in the first team last year. Now, Hugh and I would say, what do you reckon, Hugh? First 11 Premier, 16 to 20 on average around the country maximum?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on holidays, doesn't it? And,
obviously, it does.
Who's having a stag do on the wrong weekend. But you look at the best sides. I always think of Chelmsford last year, who they had something like 14 players, and they won it. You know, I mean, they obviously got very good players, but they weren't star-studded, and that consistency. And then if you're dipping in and out, and I feel this from our club. We were in one, relegated to one, went down to three, because we've done exactly the same. You're forcing the issue, and it's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant. Belper just gone back into the Premier League in Derbyshire. They survived 2 seasons, don't they? They went down to 4. Same thing. Gone back up, got their act together. Back you go, and it just feels like a more sustainable, happy place for people playing at the right level. It's such a difficult league to jump into. Anybody playing in the Premier League, it's really difficult. But the one thing I was just going back to the start there about the money side of things, like, people are so quick to be snooty about anybody who's paying money. And it's often the teams that are being a bit snooty are the teams surrounded by the world's largest housing estate and 3 private schools. We don't pay players. Well, brilliant, that's fantastic. But if you're a small club and ambitious and you're out in the sticks and you want to do it, well, you're going to have to pay. So I think it's brilliant that actually lads can earn a decent wage.
Absolutely.
Eight grand a season and £10 a wicket. I'll take that. Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. How many wickets did you get last year, Hugh?
I've got one league wicket. 10 quid.
Yeah. 10 quid. It goes quite far these days, doesn't it?
Exactly.
But I think it's so easy to be critical of anybody paying. Everyone's kind of doing it. The favourite line, we've mentioned it before, X club doesn't pay players, they employ them. There's a few of those clubs around as well, which is great as well, and there's players getting paid more playing club cricket than they are getting paid
100%. 100%.
It's I think it's wicked. I think the fact that, you can say to your lads coming through, okay, you might not be able to make it to account level, make it Premier League level. Actually, you can make a decent side gig out of this and trip to Australia in the winter. Paid for, sorted. What an opportunity that is. So I'm sorry, that's just a minor rant from me.
Not that you ever go on a minor rant, but it's funny you say that, because I've just looked at the champions of the GMCL, and Prestwich used 13 players in their first 11 last season versus your 34. And that's the consistency difference, isn't it? Because they've obviously got the depth in that 13, whereas you've had lads come in from the seconds, maybe even the thirds, I don't know. And it's just a different ball game altogether. You're now trying to go basically from the bottom upwards, aren't you, with the juniors?
Yeah, and I'll touch on that with the 30-odd players, because last year was probably, in terms of first-team cricket, was our worst season to be around in a change room. Nothing to do with the lads that we had. It was a matter of second team lads didn't want to make that step up, because what we talked about is that gap, and they thought, well, I'm wasting my Saturday if I come up here and batting 7, 8, 9, and that's not the attitude we sort of want. And listen, and Prestwich as well, I'll touch on them, because I think they're an exemplary club, in my opinion. I think they had 7 homegrown players that had won that league, and I think that is very, very rare in Premier League cricket. There's 7 homegrown players. I know they had Stuart Ells, Nico Van Zyl. I know that them 2 will probably be paid, but to win a Premier League with 7 homegrown players is just it's incredible. And I think that's a testament to them. I mean, you look at Prestwich, they've got 5 senior teams, all the junior teams, absolutely brilliant. And I think with Prestwich, and this is what we want to do at Flixton, they have brilliant facilities, and it's so much easier to encourage lads to come and sign for you when your facilities are top notch. And that's what we're going to target really, in terms of trying to make new signings and the right signings as well. So we do have a lot of plans in the future. I can't discuss too much on, but that I think that's the way we're going to go about things, is improving facilities, and hopefully that'll encourage better players to come and play for us. But yeah, all credit to Prestwich. I think if they only had 13, 14 players, 7 of them homegrown, that's just brilliant. Fair play to them.
I've just been keeping an eye on the Aussie coverage. The WAC has just been redeveloped, and they've put in a water park and a swimming pool in the WAC in Perth. So is there something along those lines?
Yeah, water park slide coming off the clubhouse.
I think the key, Hugh, is
Lido,
I think head of cricket Ollie Riley is saying no. Wizard the Wicketkeeper saying yes, please. We'll have a bit of that.
That's it.
And I think you're right there. You know, if you build the facilities, it's the oldest saying in the book, isn't it? They will come. You know, there's no two ways about it. You know, I'm at a club in the Midlands that we don't have our permanent nets. We've got no car parking. So it's a lot more difficult to attract players to a place like that than it is to someone who's got the car park, who's got the full-time nets. You can do all those nice things around it. Do you think that's...
drainage, though. It's quite a slope, isn't it?
Oh, we got great drainage. There's no two ways about that. But do you think that's part and parcel of where clubs should be coming from, start and finish now?
Well, I think this is where you ask the question, isn't it? Where these clubs are spending all this money. Is it the best thing for cricket? Are you looking after the players who aren't playing Premier League cricket? Are you looking after the juniors who aren't aspiring to play professional cricket? You got to remember the basis of it all is inclusivity, isn't it? And trying to encourage more and more people to play cricket.
Yeah.
And if you're pumping all your money into a first team and you've got one net which isn't functional and the change rooms are a mess, there's no women teams. What are we spending the money out for? That are we improving the game, or are we looking after our own egos? I think that's the question people need to ask themselves.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't disagree at all in the slightest. And I think, you'd almost, I'm going to say this out loud, Hugh, you could almost give yourself a job at the ECB with that, because that's exactly what they want, isn't it? They want that bottom upwards. They want everyone to be inclusive. We know clubs, Hugh and I, and we're not going to name names on this show, we know clubs who've had 1 or 2 senior teams and bugger all juniors, and they've only suffered for it in the past. The one that I will mention, Brigstock, in 2024 came 3rd in the Northants Premier League, but because of the lack of juniors, they got dumped down 2 leagues. And Brigstock were always renowned as having a few quid, spending a few quid on players, but they didn't have that base. And I think, my rule of thumb's dead simple. For every 11 players you need in the Prem, you need 22 in the squad. If you've got 3 teams of 33, you need 66 seniors. Then you need those juniors feeding through. And Flixton's got a good enough area to do that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And I mean, when I came back to play after COVID, the club was in disarray. I mean, we had no junior section. We had a first team which was struggling. The second team had about 7 players. The first thing I did was building from the bottom up and building a junior section, and we did that about 18 months ago. I put on 3 sessions in the winter just for the kids, just to get them in, and the uptake was massive. It was so easy getting the kids involved. We don't have the strongest junior section in the world, but these kids absolutely love playing, and it's brilliant to see. And now we've got, I think next year we're going to have 5 junior teams from under 9s up until under 18s. And we've managed to get a 3rd team involved for next year as well. So that's how far we've come in the last 4 years. And I don't think at this point in time we need to be worried about results. I mean, it'd be nice to get the first team promoted and stuff. And the second team have had some great results as well. They've had back-to-back promotions many a time before. But yeah, I mean, we are invested into the junior section, and that's the way we're going about things. We've invested into 2 different companies for next season, which are going to be tackling the junior section, because I used to run it on my own, and it's just it's not feasible for me to be doing that. I'm really excited to see where we can take it, though, especially with how quickly we've developed in 2 years.
Absolutely.
Just looking at your juniors here, under 15s, 13 games, no wins. Tough. Yeah. Tough.
It is tough.
13's got a win on the board. The other under 13 team, 4 out of 6 won, and then the Flixton Fire Some wins there as well. So are they the younger ones, the Flixton Fire? Are they towards the bottom end?
So Flixton. So we have two T20 teams. So we have a Flixton Fire, which is the first team.
That's the T20, is it?
Yeah, and then we have Flixton Fire 2, which is the second team. They got to finals day this year, and the first team we didn't. We didn't get to finals day. That's one of the first times we've not, to be fair, in a long time.
I was just going to say, in terms of the juniors, then just starting out with nothing. I mean, that is a big jump. I do all stars. I'm helping out with our under 11s, and I've coached 15s all the way through. There's under 17s now from the bottom. Like, how have you got this? I think it's the parents and the helpers and the coaches. Have you had to pay? You're paying them this year. I mean, how have you got people involved so quickly? How have you launched? How have you got a 15 side within 3 years of starting? I suppose.
Yeah. Well, my background. So I used to run a sports coaching company prior to COVID. So that is my background. So I did have awareness on how to sort of set these things up. It was tough the first year. We had to just get volunteers in, basically, just to do the coaching. But yeah, from this year we will be paying coaches, and that's sort of where our funding's going to be going. But yeah, to set it up and to get the players in, it was crazy. And yeah, parents have chipped in. They're helping coaching, managing as well. But yeah, the main way we did it was just providing free sessions. I think we provided free membership the first year we did it, just to encourage the uptake. But it was very easy. The kids were there ready to play. And honestly, I know we haven't had some great results in the junior section this year, but they've come on in 12 months massively. It reminds me of the Freddie Flintoff Field of Dreams sort of documentary.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah. And it just shows.
Where had they all gone, Ollie, though? Because prior to COVID, it sounds like you had a junior section. Then post-COVID, it's come with bugger all. Where had they all gone? Because I always believed that these juniors end up going somewhere else generally.
Our junior section was fizzling out for a few years, probably up until COVID. We used to have the old president that used to be at our cricket club, Alan Embleton, he's called. He used to play for Prestwich, and he's played all over. He was absolutely brilliant. He ran the junior section for many, many years. And unfortunately, he wasn't involved after COVID. He took a break from it all. He'd done so much for 20 years. But because we'd lost that sort of figurehead of the junior section, we didn't have anyone to sort of take over it. And I mean, David Connor, our chairman, he's put a lot of money into the club, and he's done some amazing things. But he just didn't have the time to run a junior section, and no one just took up that responsibility. And after COVID, when I came back to play, I just found it so heartbreaking to see your own club in this sort of state. And because when I was a junior, must have been about 50, 60 kids out on a Friday night playing, and all my best mates, we're all still best mates now because of the cricket club. It's a safe place to be as a kid. It's social. You're meeting new people. I think the game itself is brilliant for kids behaving. So especially for me, when I was a youngster, it really calmed me down.
Really?
And
that's why. Yeah, it's just about.
you get a lot of time sitting on your own in the changing room, don't you? When you just got out,
it just broke my heart. Really, it just broke my heart seeing my own club in that state, and I'd do anything to try and fix it.
And I'm guessing you were the one, therefore, that put the hand up and said, I'm going to do it. And once you'd put your hand up, then others went, well, go on then, I'll give you a hand. And it started to just roll.
Yeah, I mean, some of the second team lads have been brilliant. A shout out to Alfie Stamper and Mark Stamper, who plays in the first team. They both have got stuck in, and they've never done any coaching in their lives, and the kids absolutely love them. And it's brilliant to see lads getting stuck in, especially from your own club. And the thing with that is as well, and I know when I was a youngster, when you're a junior and you see the adults who play on a Saturday, they're coaching you, it creates that really great bond, doesn't it? And they want to come down and watch the senior teams. And I think that gets the cycle going of kids thinking, God, I want to play with my coach when I'm older. I want to play in that team. And that's how it sort of gets the ball rolling, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been amazed by that. I've got my kids growing up, but just coaching under 15, I'll be playing my second team. I'm not a particularly good player. I can hit a long pull shot, and that's pretty much it. And I'll hit a 6 on a weekend, and I'll hear about it at training on Wednesday night. Someone goes, "That was a nice shot, Hugh." It's like, what? And it's gone down. Somebody's watched that, told, "Oh, you hit a massive 6 or something like that." It's like, well, it's pretty much my only shot. I can't play straight. But you know, and that's helped bring. And those lads want to play with me on a Saturday, and it's sort of viral almost. You know?
Yes.
And then you get a couple of lads that may be on the edge, you know, and then something good happens. One lad does well, and so, oh, he's scoring some runs, he's getting some wickets. I want that. You know, It doesn't always work, but it's amazing. I think it is like a positive virus flowing through a friendship group, I suppose, and that helped as well. When they were younger, you're getting kids down. You know, if they enjoyed it, they came down. They told a mate, they came down, and I've been fascinated by the social dynamics of it all, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And the kids, they come and watch me, and they're not as nice as they are to you, as they are to me, because they're just calling me rubbish at wicket keeping and giving me loads of abuse. Yeah. But I absolutely love it. Absolutely love them coming down watching and throwing abuse at me.
They're figuring out now, because obviously when they're 11 and I'm 40 odd, you know, I do look good. They're now sailing past me at a quick rate, which is exactly what I want. But they're realizing that. You know,
absolutely,
he's not that good. Actually, I'm better. You know, when we had one of my under-15s played in our first team this year, played in the second team last year. I think he averaged something like 90 in 3 or 4 games in our second team because he was just too good, and he's got into the first team already. He's only 15, and you know, which is fantastic for me to see. But when you've got a young lad who's just massively better than you, it's brilliant.
He's talking about his son.
No, he's not. No, I'm not. Marshall.
I know you are. I know, but you're also talking. Tobes has also jumped past you into the first team, hasn't he?
That was years ago. Yeah, I don't worry about it.
Definitely. Well, have you gone down that route? I mean, in all seriousness, have you gone down that route now with Flixton, where it's like, okay, we're going to cut our cloth accordingly, and we're going to put a new 3-5 year plan in place, and this is where we want to be. Then, rather than, you know, as you say, spending money on people left, right, and centre, and just sticking away in the Premier League.
Yeah. Listen, like, my ambition is to be back in the Premier League. I do enjoy the status of being in the Premier League, but I want to do it where we've got half the budget of what we've been spending, basically. And that's why I've created the third team this year, is so the juniors that we have got up and coming through the ranks, they are going to play in that third team, so they are ready for adult cricket. Because I think that when I was 15, 14, best thing for me, I got thrown into first team wicket keeping. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I was a nervous wreck, but just that you know, exposure of adult cricket and being around adults and the sledging and the abuse you get, it builds massive confidence. So that's the route we're going to go down. It is building them juniors up so we can put them into the first team, second team, because we have got an aging team. I'm 30 now. All my mates are 30. So there's going to come a point in 5 years, especially with the likes of me. I'm married now, where your missus and people are going to turn around going, you know, you're getting on a bit now. You're going to have to knock it on the head or not play as much.
This is the line you've got to take. You have to set, when the kids come along, because it sounds like you can have a flood. I assume you've had all the weddings.
I got married earlier this year. Yeah.
And I assume there was about 30 weddings within a couple of years of each other if you've got a big group of mates. The kids are all going to come in a flood. Now, the line you've got to take is you need to set an example. And that involves, and you set that example from zero. Yeah, none of this having a couple of years off. We're not having any of that. Not, you know. Let's get the kids.
I'll write this down.
Yeah, but where else are you going to be on a Saturday afternoon?
No, true.
The sun's out. You know. Yes, you're out in the middle, but you're close. Yes, there's a bat being chucked in a change room and the swear words. But you know, that's the line you've got to take, because if you're not careful, there's going to be, you know, a whole team of babies taking a whole team of adults somewhere where, to a soft play on a Saturday. I mean, God, you don't want to be on a soft play on a Saturday, do you? Jesus.
Not when it's 27 degrees in July.
No, exactly.
That doesn't sound ideal.
No, and that's exactly where you want to get to, isn't it? Because you will have lads and mates now who are got kids coming through. They're going to get to that all-star age, and all of a sudden, I've seen it in my club, they become your new volunteers. Then all of a sudden, lads who've never volunteered are going, yeah, I'll do it because my little so-and-so's in there. And it just starts to roll, and it sounds like you've gone a bit of an acceleration path, but at the same time, you've got the group behind you, haven't you?
Yeah. And I mean, we have got these 5 junior teams, and a lot of them are currently playing up an age group. So like we've got the under 15s, under 18s, they're already playing 2 years above what they are. And I think that's, in the long run, it's going to really, really help them. I mean, some of them have only been playing 12 months. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where they're going to be in 3 or 4 years and whether they want to play senior cricket as well. I think that's the big problem we've got, is from that age of sort of 16 to 19, 20, how do we retain them players and keep them wanting to play? Because I know when I was 18, a lot of lads stopped playing because they didn't enjoy it, whether that's because the Saturdays are too long. So we've got a head coach in for under 18s to try and help with that transition and monitor them juniors.
So are you paying that head coach then for under 18s?
Yeah, so I'd say 75% of our budget next season is going on coaching. They're obviously coaching players. So we've got Aaron Offa, who's coming over from Australia. Patel, who played for us last year, he's going to be heading the whole junior section. We're paying him, and obviously he'll be playing as well. And then we've got 2 other lads that we've trained up as coaches, and then we've got myself as well. So there's about 5 or 6 of us now that are all around that junior setup. But the massive thing for me is that transition from juniors to seniors, and how do we monitor that, and how do we ensure that we're not losing these players?
Yeah, it's difficult, that, and it's also difficult hanging on to players. Maybe other clubs start noticing them, and the long arm of the poach comes sweeping in, and you might lose.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems we find is you're putting lads into the third team. You need some experienced heads in that third team to sort of keep that. Have you got those experienced heads in that third team?
No, we haven't. And I'll be honest. So we've got a young lad who's just came through. He's our youngest player. He's only 18, and he's volunteered to take over the third team for us, which is going to be massive for him. But that's what he's asked to do, and I think that's good, giving a young lad that kind of responsibility. That is what we will be lacking in that third team. But like I said before, that coach that I mentioned about, who's monitoring the transition from the juniors to the seniors, he is volunteered to be down every Sunday to help with that sort of transition.
That's good.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Let's have a quick look before we talk content creation. Let's have a quick look at GMCL last year, because I've got to ask, are you friendly with the lads at Shaw? Because I bet you right now you're their best mates, aren't you?
You know what? The Shaw lads, and I'm sure they'll probably watch this, I got on very well with the Shaw lads, and they're very funny because they it was actually them who encouraged me to set up the first cricket club TikTok.
Okay.
They're brilliant, and when you play against them, they do abuse you, but it's all in good nature. They're very good lads. They beat us on finals day last year, and they were throwing loads of abuse at us and filming us. But I love that kind of stuff. I think it's brilliant. It's great for the game. But yeah, they sent a video out of dancing around their clubhouse and saying thanks to Flixton for keeping them up. So no problem, lads. It's all right. It's on me.
It happens, doesn't it? We see this across all the leagues. These little things are going to happen. And Shaw didn't end the season in much glory, but now they can say we're still a Premier League club. In terms of the strength of the GMCL generally, though, I mean, you've been in it a few years. How do you see it in comparison to 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
I think that's a really good question. And I do think it's improved. But with that, I also think the average spend's probably gone up quite a lot. You see a lot more ex-county players, current county players playing. I mean, if you look at the teams that got relegated this year in Bradshaw, they've got Keane Dickinson there and Brad Yates are two absolutely unbelievable batsmen. I cannot believe them lads have got themselves relegated. Unfortunately, I know Brad and Keane, they've left to go to other clubs now. And I think if you look at that and see clubs like Bradshaw now getting relegated, I think it just shows how strong that league is. Compared to 10 years ago. It's hard for me to say, because I feel like it's always been a strong league. And I know there's a lot of debate from whether the Cheshire League is better or the GMCL. There's a lot of to and fro on Twitter. It's hard for me to comment. I've never played against a club from the Cheshire League. Obviously, I've watched the Lord's game with
Ormskirk and Penzance.
Ormskirk, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, Ormskirk were in the final, weren't they? Because Callum Turner, I know Callum Turner, he hit
and Ormskirk had hammered Row Green in the earlier rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard for me to comment, but I think, the writing's on the wall, isn't it, really, if clubs like that are making it to the finals at Lord's.
Absolutely. And around the GMCL generally, do you see there's going to be another roller coaster of a winter with change going right throughout the players? It's not been that busy yet in comparison to one or two others. Last year, I think it was in the top 4 or 5 with the amount of players who were moving around. But can you see that starting to up the game, basically?
Absolutely. I think a lot of clubs haven't released as well their signings. I think they've kept them quite quiet this year. I always think it always goes off who's the overseas pro. I think that makes a massive difference. I know when Edgeworth had Tom Rogers a couple of years ago, he's one of the best batsmen I've ever seen play in GMCL Premier, and he made a huge difference. I think it all boils down to who's going to be the overseas pro for each sort of teams. Row Green already have a great overseas pro at the moment in Tilly Malsham. But yeah, it has. I feel like it's been quiet this year. There hasn't been much news, has there? I know Brad Yates has gone to Edgeworth and Keane Dixon's gone to Row Green. But other than that, very quiet.
Yeah, I'm in the process of doing today's update. And for those who are listening when this goes out, this has been recorded on the 11th of November. And as of today, there's around about 32% more transfers been announced around the whole country than there was this time last year. But GMCL's not one that I'm going, there's a lot. And I can just tell when I'm updating the spreadsheet, there's not that many. Whereas the North East League, the Bradford League, they're all over it like a bloody rash to say. And actually, we'll get around to content creation now. You were down south yesterday at Lord's yourself. And down south, I think nobody's even bothering to sign anyone right now. There's that bloody few of them, to say the least. There's one or two big ones, but otherwise it's not happening. So let's talk content creation. Where do you want to take that? Because, 500,000 views in 4 or 5 weeks. You look as though you've lost your head a few times on it, to say the least. Where do you want to take that? Is this something that you want to make a few chunks out of eventually? Or is it just started off as a bit of fun that's now gone, hang on a minute, where's this going to go?
I think you're exactly right with what you just said there. It started off as a bit of fun, and it sort of just kicked on from there. Where I want to take it, I'm not bothered financially, anything to do with that. I think for me, obviously, I got invited down to Lord's yesterday with Cricket District, and we did an Ashes debate and a bit of film. I think opportunities like that, I absolutely love. I'm gonna be doing it every single day and seeing how far I can take and how quickly I can build my account up. If people enjoy what they see, I know that the big ones in terms of when I do a Premier League signing sketch or do a changing room rant sketch, I know they're quite popular. I will see how far I can take it, but then also I've got to think, I've never done this before. Can I keep thinking of funny content to keep putting out there and keep making people laugh? So it's a whole new world to me, and I mean, if it fizzles out, it fizzles out. I'm not too bothered, but I'll give it a good go.
And what are you finding the most fun doing that? Is it, literally laughing at yourself practically doing it? Because let's be brutal about this. There aren't many Premier League people who've done this around the country. I'll always talk about Tom Robinson down at Bournemouth, Matty Mills over in Lincolnshire, Rhys Lamazurier down south. But there's not many Premier League lads. Now, to be fair, Flixton are dropping down. But you're a Premier League player and you're a Premier League captain. Yeah. What's the feeling around the club about what you're doing?
It's very nice to say that. So I haven't actually managed to speak to the lads about it, really. I mean,
hang on. Is that because they don't want to speak to you? They don't want to know who you are anymore?
I've had messages off people like Liam Hurt and stuff, and they'll just take the mick and just say, like, what are you doing? Like, you're 30 years of age. There's one of them, I was in the bath on one of the sketches, and they're like, what are you doing in the bath, getting your wife filming? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, people take the mick out of me. People say it's great. I'm like not too bothered in terms of what people think. But yeah, I do laugh at myself on them sometimes. Some of the videos I do enjoy watching back.
One of the issues you've got, the wicket-keeping role is a sacred position as a fellow keeper, and it is your job, being the closest to the batsman, to sort of challenge them mentally, verbally, whatever. And have you compromised your position now? Because they could just turn around and be like, mate, you can't say anything now.
Yeah, that's the one comment I got off the lads was, you're going to get some stick next year. You are going to get abused. And you know what? Bring it on. I don't care. It's fun. I'll bring a GoPro with me and I'll use it as content.
Oh, now we're talking. Have you cleared that with the GMCL, though?
I haven't. I've heard about that. Strict rules on that now, isn't there? I'll just do T20. Yeah. It's easier, isn't it?
It like everything in the Premier Leagues, it varies from league to bloody league.
Yeah.
Who can use them and who can't use them. I'm a big believer that anything that adds value to the game, somewhere down the line, has got to be a good thing. And if it gets new viewers looking at it, it gets younger people looking at the game, that's got to be good. And going back to Flixton, all these bloody juniors are going to be following you on Instagram, aren't they?
Oh, they love it. Yeah, I mean, because I'm in contact now with Cricket Club Badger. They're all the kids that go, can you get Badger down to play a game with us? I've only been in this world a couple of weeks, lads. I can't, you know what I mean? I've got to take my time.
A couple of weeks though, but you got the invite to Lords from Cricket District. I mean, when you're down there with Adam Collins and Munners and my mate Charlie from What's He On About podcast, and Charlie, what are you on about? There's some serious players down there.
Honestly, it's absolutely unbelievable to meet them guys. I was just sat there yesterday thinking, like, what am I doing in this room? A few weeks ago, I was watching these lads just scrolling through my phone, and now I'm sat there having a laugh with him. And they were all brilliant as well. Like, I spoke to you a little bit about What's He On About before, and he's a great lad. He's a 50-odd-year-old in a 23-year-old body. He's comedy genius, absolutely brilliant at what he does. And
I am texting him that later.
Yeah, that did text me. I'm sure he'll like that. Munners as well. Like what a character. He took his time out to have a chat with me and give me a few opportunities. Hopefully coming up in the near future. But it's one of them. I've got a full-time job. Financially, I'm okay. I don't really need to take it far, but I'd like to get opportunities in media, in cricket. I absolutely love the sport. I love having a laugh. I love the banter. So any opportunities that come my way, I'm going to take with both hands and just run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ian's done a few more press boxes than I have over the last couple of seasons, but just that is brilliant. Just being able to just pop into a ground and just mingle with the press and get a great view. I mean, that trip to Lords that we did, I mean, what an unbelievable experience. And do you know what? If this all stopped now, you go, well, I got that out of it. I got this out of it. I got this connection out of it. I got this friend out of it. And that's probably what it's more important, isn't it? I mean, the world is saturated with content creators, and we can't all be Kim Kardashian, can we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some people I would have associated him with, and Kim Kardashian is not one, funnily enough.
Well, the Kim Kardashian Cricket Collective. There we go.
Yeah, no comment. Definitely. I mean, joking apart, I mean, it's great. It's nice to see, and I'll say it out loud. It's nice to see a new content creator making some waves out there, because there are a number of the guys who've been out there for a while. And some great lads out there. Jacko's done a brilliant job as the cricket kid, and with his dad Nick doing all that work. Dan Jad's reinvented himself over the last couple of years, and it's ironically seeing Dan Jad's commentating on Jackson out in Dubai right now. Phenomenal, and Dan's a just top bloke. But then we have got this new breed coming through, and you're obviously going to be one of them for the next season. I think you'll be really interested to watch what you do get to do in and around games, because the winter's one thing. But then let's be brutal about this, Ollie. Once we get to the season start, I want to see you doing selection, because we all know that as a captain, what's the number one job? Selection. We want to do some sketches on selection, because that could be quite good fun.
I can definitely do some on selection, yeah. And them tough phone calls with lads who are getting dropped, I can definitely do a few of them, 100%.
Yeah, and that I think that to me, once you get to the season, it's a different type of content altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what me and my wife spoke about, because obviously when it comes to the season, how am I going to be a captain and have that role of sort of responsibility and leadership, as well as walking around with a camera on me or filming myself? So I've got to make a decision on how I do that. And I would love. I don't know if you've watched the Dorking Wanderers sort of type football.
Mark White.
Yeah, Mark White. I mean, I would love to bring that into the cricket world and run with something like that. Where, as a realistic point of view, of watching what it's like in a cricket changing room and trading and stuff like that, I'd absolutely love to do something like that, because I just think it would build the sport up 10 times more.
I know somebody who's doing that with the Premier League club next year.
I'm not surprised, because I think it's a great idea, and I think it would publicise the sport a whole lot more. And just give that insight into what it's like to be in a cricket changing room, because I've been in a football changing room, I've been in a cricket changing room. They are very different, and they've both got brilliant aspects about them, especially the cricket changing room. The stories you guys can probably tell about what's gone on in cricket changing rooms over the years. It's just
absolutely
brilliant.
I think it connect with everything about this. You know, we're all trying to grow the game in one way or the other, aren't we? It's sort of your duty as a cricketer to just help other people into cricket, because it's a stupid sport that takes ages, and why on earth would we do it? So you've got to kind of it's a bit like a church, isn't it? You know, you're trying to brainwash people into loving cricket, and these kind of things are part of it. You want to make it cool, you want to make it interesting and create a mystique around it. And I think the social media stuff is really starting to do that. It's really connecting with the kids, it's connecting with younger adults, and you know, the Facebook generation of people going all the way through, and it just creates this. I think it's something special here, haven't we? We've got something unique that you want people to want a piece of, and you're doing that, aren't you? By creating this stuff, it just, you know, the mystique of it brings people in. The first people, really jumped out with the grey cricketer lads, you know, which are COVID. I think a lot of us got into the grey cricketing around that era. They made it, they took the total piss out of cricket, but made it cool at the same time, and pointed out, like, we're doing all this, Steve, why are we wasting my Saturday doing this stuff? And they're absolutely right, but we do it, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't think you could sum it up better. Hey, it's been great catching up, Ollie, and look forward to watching the Wickekeeper's journey over the winter. I'll keep tagging stuff in and liking it for you without a shadow. It's always nice to see, as long as you don't take the piss out of Hugh and I, because just remember. No, you might be all right, but I'm not, because he's a Manc and I'm a Scouser. There's no way that's happening whatsoever.
I'll look after you, lads. I won't take the piss. Don't worry.
Absolutely. We'll tell you who to take the piss out of. That's a different matter altogether.
Send it through, and I'll target.
I think we can probably provide some material. I think we've got in-depth knowledge of the material.
Without a shadow, definitely.
Oh yeah.
We also, let's be brutal about it. Good luck at Flixton. To take that decision to drop down divisions is. I was on an exec in Derbyshire for a year when actually Hugh's club actually asked for it while I was there, and I'm like, look, that is the most difficult decision for any club to take. So I applaud that. No problem. But just want to see where that goes, because you get that junior section going, and you're right. I think Freddie, God bless him, what a job he's done with the Field of Dreams. It is that we build it and they will come. And he's proven at South Shore, at Vernon Carras and places like that, if you can build it from nothing, but you already had something at Flixton. So at least you had some ground there to work on, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just, I'm so excited to see where we can sort of take it. But yeah, it's like that Freddie Flintoff Field of Dreams, isn't it? Absolutely. Got the facilities there, ready to go. It doesn't matter who you are, come down, play cricket, and just enjoy yourself. It's a great game, isn't it? And you can meet some great people, have some great memories.
Absolutely. Go well, mate. Have a good one.
Nice one. Cheers, Ian.
Cheers now.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
This podcast podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.